the bizarre story of Tatsuya Ichihashi. When I saw this thumbnail, it was talking about some shit about performing plastic surgery on himself. So I don't know what this is gonna be. So you know what I'm saying? Anyways, boop.
Today we're covering the case.
Oh, sir, yo, you got a deep voice. Hold on, mister. Like, you trying to raise me up? Like, you trying to seduce me? Like, what's going on, man?
Ichihashi.
Damn.
Case known for its uniquely bizarre and disturbing details. When 22-year-old Lindsay Hawker traveled to Tokyo to teach English, it was supposed to be the start of an amazing adventure. Instead,
Yo, Talia, thank you for the get this out to Karma. W gifted. What the fuck is on my screen?
Would turn into something so unimaginably horrific, it would become the subject of a best-selling memoir and later a movie. As for Lindsay's killer, his desperate attempts to avoid identification were so gruesome, they'd earn him a near cult hero status. So prepare yourselves. This is the disturbing story of Tatsuya Ichihashi. Before
Get dildo the nigga. Yo, that shit is crazy.
we start, we would like to send our heartfelt sympathies to the loved ones of Lindsay Ann Hawker, whose life was ended in such a savage and senseless way.
R.I.P.
This story takes us to Tokyo, Japan, a mega city of 35 million inhabitants,
Damn.
famous for both the ultra-modern and the traditional. Home to anime, manga, electronic mega stores, and more Michelin stars than London and
Yo, why
Paris
Tokyo looks
combined.
so...
Tokyo
Wait, he said,
is a
yeah, why Tokyo looks so
24-hour
lit, bro?
metropolis that
And then we got
combines
fucking America. Like, it's just boring over here. Like, why Tokyo is like, bro, I want to go to Tokyo. But at the same time, I don't. Like, it'd be cool to go across the country. But, like, shit is obviously different there. And, you know, I don't know, man.
millennia-old traditions with futuristic technology. Neon-lit skyscrapers sit side by side to historic temples. It was to the Edogawa ward of Tokyo that 22-year-old Lindsay Hawker arrived in October 2007, ready to start her new job at the Tokyo
I was 4
branch
years
of
old.
Nova, Japan's largest private English school.
Also, you're black, so what do you mean by that, Karma? There's black people in Tokyo. What you mean by that, gang? It's not as bad as China, though.
Lindsay was from a town near Coventry in Warwickshire, England, where she had grown up in a close-knit family with parents Bill and Julia and two sisters. Lindsay was known for her boundless enthusiasm for life. She was also bright and ambitious, graduating with a first-class honors degree in biology from the University of Leeds
Okay,
in the
nerd.
summer of 2007.
Sorry,
After years of studying, Lindsay was ready for a change.
I'm just a bit
And made
jealous.
plans for a world trip with her boyfriend of 4 years, Ryan Garside. Lindsay would set off first, heading to Tokyo, where she would teach English, before her boyfriend would join her the following summer.
Okay.
Lindsay adapted fast to life on the other side of the globe.
Okay.
She made solid friends with her two roommates, with whom she shared an apartment.
Yo, this man's voice is so soothing. Like, I could really just sit here and just watch. Like, keep talking,
Her
mister.
employers at Nova said she put every effort into her new role. She communicated daily with her friends and family about life in Tokyo. In one email to her sisters, she described how the city of Tokyo felt safe and secure. Safer, in fact, than Britain.
It ain't even
They
nothing
were
crazy.
words.
AJ, you saying this ain't nothing crazy when your voice sound like this. It ain't even nothing crazy. Like, bro, let compliment the nigga, bro. He has a good voice. Like, come on, bro.
That would later haunt her family. On the morning of March 25th, she packed her tote bag with her teaching materials and said goodbye to her roommates and left the apartment on her bike. She would never...
Yo, AJ, I feel like you got a really high-pitched voice. Well, not really high-pitched, but like, I feel like you have like that, like, what is that? It's like a nasal feel. Like, feel me? Talking about something else? Well, I'm still coming at you, AJ. So hold that stray, buddy. Hold that fucking wound. I was having a nice little shootout and I turned to specifically to shoot you. That shit crazy, ain't it?
6th, 2007
That shit crazy.
at 2:30 p.m., Lindsay's father received a call from a staff member at the Nova Language School. Lindsay had failed to turn up for her classes for 2 days in a row. Her roommates had already tried to contact police when Lindsay had failed to return home from work.
Shows you flying like crazy here? Yo, what are you talking about?
The message had not been conveyed to the proper authorities within the department. Lindsay's family were distraught. Her father booked a flight to Tokyo for himself and Lindsay's boyfriend, Ryan. At Lindsay's apartment, officers tried to piece together Lindsay's last movements. Both her roommates and her boyfriend, Ryan, had vital information to share, and all of it created a clear and chilling picture. 6 days earlier, on March 20th, Lindsay had been traveling home on the train after drinks at a bar called Hippy Dippy Doo when a strange man approached her.
Hippy Dippy
He
Doo!
was several years older than her and claimed to be one of her students in her class. But Lindsay knew all of her students, and he was not one of them. Lindsay had politely excused herself and exited the train at her station. She had almost arrived home on her bike when she suddenly spotted the man right behind her, jogging fast.
What the fuck?
He had tailed her all the way from the station and now pitched up on her doorstep. He asked again if she recognized him. Now, a little frightened, Lindsay repeated that she didn't. This time, he explained that he wanted to go abroad to study and was desperate for an English tutor. He then asked her for a glass of water. Thinking he was simply enthusiastic and maybe a little eccentric, Lindsay invited him into her apartment,
why'd you trust
where her
him,
roommates
bro?
were both home.
It was good, Magenta.
Inside, he sketched a picture of Lindsay and signed it with his name, Tatsuya Ichihashi, a phone number, and an email address. Officers now searched Lindsay's room, where they located the sketch the man had given her. Lindsay, her roommates said, had agreed to meet the man in a cafe for an English lesson. They had warned her against it, but Lindsay could see no harm in it, and on March the 20th had set off to meet him at the duo.
Come on, Lindsay!
It was the last time they'd see her.
Oh my gosh.
Lindsay's last Facebook message was written on March 20th and had said, "Love you lots. Don't worry about the guy who chased me home. It's just crazy Japan. Miss you." Meanwhile, police had pulled grainy surveillance footage from the morning of the 25th of March 2007 at the Duo Tour Cafe near the station in East Tokyo. The footage captured Lindsay and the mysterious man named Ichihashi ordering drinks at the counter. Lindsay appears to feel awkward, repeatedly pushing her hair aside. The pair sit together at a table for 50 minutes while Lindsay gives him a language lesson. When it's time to leave, Ichihashi makes exaggerated gestures of searching and failing to find his money. This video is kindly sponsored by Babbel.
What the fuck? Nigga. Fuck your ad. The hell? Get your bag, but fuck your ad. I'm trying to see the story of Tatsuya Ichihashi.
The man who Lindsay had just gotten into a taxi with had, in fact, been watching her for months. 28-year-old Tatsuya Ichihashi lived alone in a 3-bedroom apartment bought for him by his parents in the Chiba Prefecture, a suburban town east of Tokyo. The son of 2 wealthy professionals, his mother was a dentist and his father a brain surgeon, Tatsuya hadn't inherited
being a brain surgeon must be crazy.
Ability. Under his
yeah, you know, I used to want to be a brain surgeon, bro. But then I realized, like, I feel like I would fuck up and like give the my patient a problem that like they didn't have before. So I don't want that like type shit on my conscience. So I didn't want to be it anymore. Feel me? Yeah. So then I became a streamer.
Direct,
nice.
He attended Chiba University and graduated with a major.
Well, then I became a streamer. It's just that I just became a streamer. Cause like I just want to be a lot of things. I just want to be a firefighter. I just want to be an astronaut. I just want to fucking, like, yeah, other shit, basic shit. And then I made music. And I actually did YouTube for a little bit, actually. Yo, it's crazy. I have a old, I don't know. I can't get back in that account. That shit's old. That shit's gone. Like, before Little Grim 17, like, I had a different one. Bro, oh my god. I used to do YouTube. And then I did rap. And then I made music. And now I'm here. So once I'm done with this, you know what I'm saying? I'll move on to the next thing, chat. Hey, man. It's only a matter of time.
In 2005, but he had never
only a matter of time
in the field of
what the fuck,
and had spent the past 2 years living off of his parents' monthly allowance. Tatsuya found himself a girlfriend during
Rip Coach's
his time
music. I
at
shall revive you
college,
one day.
but
That's never
those who
happening.
knew him described him as a loner, someone known in Japanese culture as a hikikomori, or someone who suffers extreme degrees of social isolation. He was obsessed with violent manga, and for several years had been displaying some troubling behavior.
What the fuck?
2 years earlier, he had assaulted a woman on a street while attempting to rob her. The woman had settled out of court with Tatsuya's parents. While at university, Tatsuya had been given a formal warning for stalking a woman. Oddly, his girlfriend later described their relationship as stable and serious. She would visit him several times during his early years in prison. She said Tatsuya was obsessed with physical fitness and would spend hours each day working out at the gym and regularly cycling 15 miles a day.
See, but that's where you got it wrong. See, you don't really need to spend hours to build muscle. Feel what I'm saying? You just gotta get in, do what you gotta do, and get out. An hour max, okay? Because there's a thing called overworking the muscle. See, that's what you don't want to do, okay? Feel what I'm saying? You go in, do what you got to do, but make sure it's a good one. Like, make sure you push yourself, but don't push yourself too much because you don't want to cause no injury. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you have good form, and yeah. Feel me? Moon drop them off. Oh my god. What the fuck is this? Moon, what the fuck are you doing, buddy? What the fuck are you doing?
By 2007, however, there were
No, bro, it's not a third moon. This is the same. This is the Moon the Mofo. He was originally Moon drop him off, but then got kicked out of his fucking community, so then became Moon the Mofo. Buddy.
That Tatsuya's mental health was deteriorating. He reportedly told acquaintances that he felt he was becoming unstable, but it's not clear whether anyone urged him to seek help. Instead, it seems, he developed a fixation with a random stranger, the young British English language teacher, Lindsay Hawker. According to police, Tatsuya had stalked Lindsay Hawker for several months before working up the courage to approach her on the train.
Bro, what the
He
fuck?
spotted the logo for the English language school on her tote bag and used it as an excuse to connect with her. He now used the excuse of having no money to lure her to his apartment in Ichikawa. It was a 5-minute drive away. Once outside, Lindsay asked the taxi driver to wait for her while she went in to collect the money. 7 minutes passed with no signs of Lindsay, and the taxi driver drove away. He was the last person, other than her killer, to see her alive. Once at Tatsuya's apartment, police waited outside for him to exit. They were not permitted by Japanese law to knock without proper cause. Knowing his previous allegations of stalking and robbery, they had called for backup. By 8 p.m., 9 officers had assembled on both the ground floor and outside of his 4th-floor apartment. 2 hours after the last officers arrived, Tatsuya burst out of his apartment and headed down the building's fire escape. He was barefoot and carrying a rucksack. With several officers close behind him, Tatsuya evaded them by vaulting the last stairway to the ground and sprinting into the street. He was spotted once more by police officers, but once again
What the
evaded
fuck?
them by zigzagging.
Yo, how you let these niggas slip past you, bro? These niggas suck. L policeman. Oh my fucking god, these niggas are ass.
It was the closest they would get to catching him for more than 2 years. As for the location of Lindsay, on the other hand, that would happen much sooner. On Tatsuya's balcony, police noticed a bathtub had been freshly filled with a mix of sand and compost. A potted plant stood next to the bath, as though he had left before having a chance to plant it. And Tatsuya had not quite finished his task.
What the fuck?
A small, white hand protruded from the mixture in the bathtub. Neighbors would later say they heard a heavy scraping sound the evening before, undoubtedly the sound of Tatsuya dragging his bathtub onto the balcony of his apartment.
Bro, what the fuck?
Police uncovered Lindsay's naked body from inside the bathtub.
I did too, Silver.
She had been gagged with a scarf,
But he's
and
not.
her feet and hands had been bound with gardening ties. Bruising across her upper body suggested she had endured a savage and prolonged attack. Both Lindsay...
Yo, drop him off. What are you doing, buddy? Moon, drop him off. What are you doing, pal? What do you mean? What do you mean? What the fuck are you doing? Huh? Why, I'm chatting. Tatsuya, get him out of here.
and Tatsuya
Get him outta
had
here.
been trained in martial arts. Lindsay had fought off her attacker bravely, but she was no match for Tatsuya in strength. Egg-sized bruises on the left side of her face suggested that she had been struck repeatedly with a fist, while lesser marks on her upper body were likely the result of collisions with furniture.
Damn.
She had been raped and strangled so violently.
Bro, I don't know why, but hearing a beep hits harder than actually hearing the word for some reason. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know why. Came into Moon's getting packed. Actually, just one Moon. The imposer. The one that got kicked out of his community. He tried to come back into his community, but he couldn't. Because he's not like that.
Violently that the cartilage in her neck was broken. Her
Damn,
head
bruh.
had been shaved and her hair placed in a plastic bag.
What the
Her
fuck?
belongings were found strewn about the room. At 3 a.m. on March 27th, Lindsay's parents received the call no parent ever wants to receive. A body had been found. The trip they had booked to search for their daughter now became a journey to identify her.
What's good, Sunflower? How are you,
Her
queen?
father, Bill, said that when he saw her, "I knew it was Lindsay because she was so tall and because she was my daughter. But she was so badly beaten. My life, my soul, just fell from beneath me." Wanted posters containing images of Tatsuya now flooded Tokyo. Soon,
This nigga
30,000
escaped.
posters had been distributed nationwide. Some showed chilling pictures of Tatsuya in possible disguises, including the killer disguised as a woman. His images were broadcast across national and international news channels. Sightings of Tatsuya came pouring in from all
I
over
should be asleep, but
Japan.
I'm not. Yo, Sunflower, go to fucking bed, or I swear on everything I love, you're banned. Not playing with you, gang. Not playing with you. Go to sleep. What the fuck? I'm just messing with you, man. Why would I ban you? Come on. Come on.
Multiple sightings placed him in Kabuki-cho, a red light district of Tokyo. Police investigated every lead, but he could not be located. Soon, there were rumors that he'd escaped the country or quietly killed himself. Days turned into weeks, and then months. In
Wow.
October 2008, 140 officers had been assigned to the investigation. But
Wow.
despite 8,000 reported sightings and widespread media coverage, police...
So the first group that was following him and the second group sold, cause this nigga mixed them and broke their fucking ankles. Why that? Like, how is there a group of you and did you let this one nigga take your ankles like that, bro? The fuck?
Police were no closer to finding Tatsuya. By the end of the year, the investigation was stalling. The desperate Hawker family launched a website appealing for information on Tatsuya Ichihashi's whereabouts. Tatsuya's parents, who had remained silent, now came under wrongful suspicion from the public. In response, his mother called a daytime television program and urged her son to give himself up. "It's Mom, Tatsuya," she said in an audio message. "Dad and Mom have decided to speak about our feelings, although we know you won't like this," she said before telling him to contact the police. Later, the couple appeared on television to apologize for their son's crime. In the lead up to the second anniversary, police printed out life-size cardboard cutouts of Tatsuya to try to raise awareness among the public. The Hawkers returned to Tokyo to plead for information on their daughter's killer. Police increased the reward for information, leading to his arrest from 1 million yen to 10 million yen.
God damn!
The equivalent of about $121,000.
Damn!
Meanwhile, a far sicker interest in the fugitive had been blossoming. Online fan clubs had begun popping up all over the internet, glorifying Tatsuya as an outlaw and a fugitive hero.
What? No, Carmen, he's still not caught. Bro, human beings are so interesting. Like, oh my gosh.
He became known as Japan's most handsome criminal, nicknamed
That
the
nigga is not
Fugitive
handsome, I ain't gonna lie,
Sun
gang.
Prince
No, bro.
and Lord Ichi, and even gaining popularity with young males. Blogs
Hey,
and
yo!
support groups opened up, dedicated to the murderer. What no one knew, of course, was that the appearance of the man police had been hunting had changed quite significantly in the 2 years since they printed his face on wanted posters across Japan. According to an account he later published in a best-selling memoir, Tatsuya had initially wandered around Tokyo with no money or credit cards and no passport that would enable him to leave the country. He hid out among the tramps in the Flophouse district of the Ibukari prefecture northwest of Tokyo. It was only when he saw his face plastered across wanted posters that he realized the scale of the manhunt. He took to living his life as a fugitive, covering his face beneath a hat, wearing glasses, avoiding surveillance cameras, and constantly staying on the move. He didn't contact a single friend or family member. But as the nationwide manhunt gained momentum, he turned to more drastic attempts to disguise his identity. He needed to change his appearance, he realized, and took on that task himself. Using a box cutter, he sliced the moles off of his left cheek, markings that had struck him as particularly prominent in his wanted pictures. He then cut off part of his lower lip with scissors in an effort to make them thinner. His first attempt failed when he was unable to push through the excruciating pain.
Oh my god.
But he did finish the job a few days later in a public bathroom. He then bound up his nose with a thread and needle to make it narrower, while his face wore multiple surgical masks.
Oh my gosh.
By train and bus, Tatsuya headed south, where he embarked on a pilgrimage of temples in the southwestern island of Shikoku. He wanted to atone for the killing, and when visiting shrines, he would pray for Hawker to come back to life, an idea he got from a novel.
Buddy, that's not happening. You literally took her life, buddy. Like, no.
In which the dead are resurrected after someone who is thinking of them tours those same temples. His paranoia over being recognized consumed him, driving him to seek out further changes to his appearance, this time with the help of a plastic surgeon, though for that he would need money. Using the name and address of a dead man called Kosuke Inoue, Tatsuya took a job at a construction company in Osaka, where he worked for the next 13 months, saving about 1 million yen. He spent most
13
of the money
months.
on 2 cosmetic surgery operations, one to acquire a longer and narrower nose, and the second to raise the bridge of his nose. He gave false names and addresses at the clinics and failed to return for any follow-up appointments.
You're a nice sunflower.
Colleagues later said he rarely mixed with them, spending most of his time reading comics and watching videos in his room at the company's dormitory. He never removed his red cap or black-rimmed glasses in public. When he was persuaded to join the company bowling trip in April, he hid behind a colleague in a group photograph. We gossiped that he was an odd guy, but I never thought he was the suspect, a former colleague told the Yomiuri Shimbun newspaper. It occurs to me now that he was saving the money for cosmetic surgery. In the end, the attempts to obscure his identity were his undoing. Tatsuya visited a clinic in the southwestern city of Fukuoka in mid-October with a request to change the shape of his mouth. On October 24th, he visited a clinic in Nagoya where he had his nose uplifted. But staff at the clinic were intrigued by the strange scars on his left cheek where he had removed his moles. They reported his visit to police and submitted multiple pictures of the man who had visited their clinic. Police identified the man as Tatsuya. On the 4th of November 2009, police released the images to the press, disclosing that he had undergone plastic surgery. His new image was soon splashed all over the Japanese news. These images showed a very different Tatsuya Ichihashi.
I mean, he don't really look that different. Just his lips. And the nose, actually, yeah. Okay, I can see. Yeah. That's crazy. What the fuck, bro? This nigga went to such lengths just to not get caught.
He was minus the 2.
His eyebrows? Oh yeah, his eyebrows. I mean, he'd be like his brother. His older brother. Like, he looked like an older, like, bro. I don't know, man. That's just crazy, though.
2 prominent moles on his
that
left
shit is
cheek.
crazy.
He had a thinner bottom lip, a higher bridge to his nose, and a double fold to his eyelids. Tatsuya wrote in his memoir that he froze when he saw the news on TV with his image. "My heart raced," he wrote. "I gazed at it trembling." He immediately got a haircut and bought a party disguise set, including
what
a
the
beard,
fuck?
sideburns, and mustache.
Why they keep showing this clip of this nigga and then him cutting, like, is this a movie? Is there a movie of this? Is there a movie of this shit? Like, show or something? I don't know why I'm asking you. You fucking...
And then headed to the ferry terminal at Osaka.
Yeah? Really? It's kind of interesting.
November 10th, 2009, moments before
2009, I was... Wait. I was 6 at the time. I was literally 6.
was due to set
LA
sail
just
for
turned 6.
Okinawa, an island in Japan's far south. A passer's-by gaze was drawn to a tall, suspicious-looking youth wearing a hat, sunglasses, and a paper surgical mask. More than 2.5 years after he had become one of Japan's most wanted suspects, Tatsuya Ichihashi was arrested at the ferry.
Bro, is there even a, like, okay, say you murder someone, and then you have the whole police force look, like, is there even a point that you got away, but, like, you didn't really get away, you're hiding. Like, is there even a point of you, like, living, bro? Like, why didn't this nigga leave the country? He should have got his surgery and then leave. Oh wait, he had no money. Okay. So he fucked himself over because he had no money. I forgot that he had no money. He lost his passport? I thought he had no money. Well, that too. Wait, what? They said he lost his passport? I wasn't really paying attention to that, I ain't gonna lie. Should have saved money to leave the country. He really should have. Now he saved up. Yeah, I thought he saved up for the surgery. Had like $1 million for the surgery, right? I don't know.
Terminal in Osaka for the murder of Lindsay Hawker.
This has been a long, hard battle for the Hawkers, and the battle is over. We've worked tirelessly as a family. We've never given in.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Let it go. Like, what are you holding on to at this point? Like, let it go. R.I.P. your daughter, though. R.I.P.
For our daughter, we've never given in. We wanted justice, and we've finally got justice. I'll also just like to thank the Japanese police. After a very bungled start to my daughter's murder.
Yo, I have another video kind of like this, but it's not like. It just made me think about it because it took them 2 years to catch this nigga, and like a video I have is like cold cases that just like I just recently got like solved. Kind of want to watch that. I don't know about now though. It's been 5 hours, bro, and I know your niggas is tired, so.
Would get the man sooner or later. We're just so relieved that this part of our life is over. I can go down to my daughter's grave this afternoon and tell her. Thank you.
I'd just like to say, you know, I'd like to echo what my parents have said, but also I hope that our case kind of gives other families some kind of hope. We thank the Japanese press, we thank the Japanese people, but really, it's us that have done this. We haven't given up. Not from day
Hey,
one.
shit. The police were supposed to give up. I ain't gonna lie, bro. If they had give up, then, bro. Like, bro. You let 2 groups of people let this nigga slip past their fingers, bro. So, it's their fault, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't have given up either.
Nights, all the nights,
That you literally
all the
had
crying,
to.
all the tears. It's all been worth it now.
You literally had to find a nigga.
Which was justice for Lindsay.
Kakoi. He's really cool, one blogger posted. When he was arrested, I thought his disheveled black hair and the line along his neck to his jaw made him look so sexy. Another side. Other fans explained their admiration for Ichihashi with one writing. The son of physicians, he is tall. He has a lean, mean physique, a talent for illustrating, and can converse in a foreign language. Lindsay's distraught family pushed for Ichihashi.
What the fuck is wrong with human beings? Not gonna lie, what, Talia?
To be executed through Japan's death penalty procedure. His lawyers, however, successfully argued that he should be kept alive based on the potential for him to be reformed. During his trial, Tatsuya admitted raping and killing Lindsay Hawker, but claimed he killed her by accident when he was trying to muffle her screams for help. He also said that he had attempted to resuscitate her and had called an ambulance, but no evidence has ever been produced to support that claim. According to prosecutors, he had beaten Lindsay shortly after she had entered the apartment and used tape to bind her while he raped her. In early 2011, Tatsuya published a book detailing his time on the run titled Until the Arrest. In the book, he skipped over the atrocities of his crime, the truth of what happened that morning, and his motives for killing an innocent woman, instead focusing on his adventures while as a fugitive, living in constant fear of arrest. The book went on to become a bestseller in both Japan and Britain. So much so, the story was turned into a film called I Am Ichihashi.
Oh, well, that answered my question.
On July
that I had earlier.
21st, 2011, the Chiba District Court sentenced Ichihashi to life imprisonment for the murder of Lindsay Hawker.
Good.
Lindsay's father said of the sentencing, "We wanted justice, and we finally got justice." Her boyfriend, Ryan Garside, said he had made plans to propose to the English teacher, who had been the best thing in my life.
Damn, bro.
If you found this story compelling, don't forget to like the video.
This is
Comment
W
down
video.
below your take on it, and please subscribe to the channel. Also hit the notification.
W fucking video. Hey man, that shit's crazy. And Talia, I'm looking at you crazy now, buddy. Yeah, buddy.